The next thing that we are going to talk about is that when I presented you the definition of a function in Python, I included this return value. Well, this return value is not actually mandatory. Okay, so this is a small thing, but I can write functions that don't return anything. Sometimes what happens is that I'm just changing whatever I give it as arguments for the function's parameters, and sometimes I'm just not changing anything. For example, here I have a function called, I use def of course to define a function, and it's called show in order. So it receives 3 integers called in these parameters as ABC, and then prints them on the screen from bigger to smaller. And to do that, I use a bunch of ifs. And I encourage you to have a look and see how this bunch of ifs exactly work. I'm using operators that I have put together here. I have 2 comparisons in the same operator for each of the branches of this if. So as you can see, we are using some of the things that we have seen until now. We are now making some ifs inside of our functions. And when I have decided who is bigger, who is middle, and who is smaller, I just print it on the screen. And we can just run this. So let me just create 3 numbers using this rounding function call that I have been using from 0 to max. Max in this case is 100, and let's just show them in order. Okay, first, sorry, I print them not in order, 84, 52, and 56, and then in order, bigger, middle, and smaller. Okay, I could even run this a couple of times. I always do 10, let's do 15. Okay, I forgot the in here. Okay, and then I have run the function a bunch of times. Not in order, 62, 11, 83, 83, 62, and 11. Okay, everything is fine. So sometimes my functions do not need to return anything. Let me take this out. Just a word of caution here. Let me create a variable and call it creatively x, and let me print that variable here. As I don't have any return value, my variable, my function, my show in order function should not return anything, should not give anything to this variable, should not put any value inside of this variable. Okay, I haven't told it to do it, so it shouldn't. But when I print it, I get this none. Okay, so I get the sort of behavior that I was expecting. X is none. To be fully precise, none is a special type in Python. So when I don't have a return value in my function, Python automatically adds this, return none. Okay, up to the point that I can do it myself if I want to do it explicitly. So all Python functions do have a return value. If I don't give it to it, if I don't include it in my function, Python will add this return none to it without me knowing. Why am I telling you this very technical detail? If at any point you're coding some function and you get a none in the variable where you're trying to put your result, that probably means you forgot the return. And speaking about coding some functions, here you have a couple of exercises. Okay, and I very much encourage you to take a look at them.